Hey, how's it going, folks? So yeah, I guess you can tell from the amount of space behind me and the roar of this 2.3 that I am driving the wagon. Yes, I'm driving the Volvo Brickwagon. It's been my day-to-day car for quite some time now. I've actually been using it a lot more than I have been in the last few weeks because it's just been lying at my house. And I had contemplated selling it. Until the moment when I needed to actually move a lot of stuff. And the aircon is still so good. I needed to move a lot of stuff, so I used the wagon, and that just affirmed the fact that I don't think I'm ever gonna sell this car because it's just so practical, it's so usable, it's so user-friendly. I loaded it up with a whole bunch of stuff from my old apartment and brought it back to the house. And you know, the funny thing is, whether I'm alone in the car with no load, no cargo, or whether I'm with somebody and there's a whole bunch of shit at the back, I don't feel any difference in power. I don't feel any difference in handling. This car just sails along. And because it's running so well and because it's performing so brilliantly, I'm going to get something done to it. I'm actually on my way now to somewhere, stay tuned, to get something done to it cosmetically, because it's been about a year since the gunmetal grey paint job. If you remember, if you look through the playlist, this car was a champagne color. It was a champagne gold, which was actually quite nice, but it was in very bad shape. The paint was in very, very bad shape, and so I decided to give it a full outside coat. If I open the doors or the boot hatch, you can actually see the old color, which was a champagne gold. Now, am I going to go back to champagne gold? Well, it looks very nice on this car. It does. It really does. But for this wagon. But I don't know if I want something that bright. So I'm toying around with the idea of maybe something a little bit more subtle in terms of, insofar as car colors are concerned. See, going over bumps, no problem. Insofar as car colors are concerned. And yes, I think I'm going to give this car a little bit of a spruce up. You see, when you have 10 cars, by the time you're done with the 10th, the first one needs some work already. It's always been that way. So I think I'm going to keep my garage at 10. Weevil garage, I think the maximum I can go is 10. Not just in terms of parking, but in terms of finances as well. Yeah, like I mentioned in the comments recently, you might be able to afford buying a new car insofar as the monthly payments are concerned, but don't work just to pay off your car. Because then if anything happens in your car's in the shop, very sakit hati yo. The last time I had a car payment, it was for the Satria GTI in 1998. And I still remember very, very vividly, I was paying 1,012 ringgit every month for that car. Now, you might not think 1,012 ringgit is a lot of money to pay every month, but don't forget, this was 1998. And salaries weren't as high as they are now. I've heard of fresh graduates who are actually thinking of asking about 4 or 5K. That seems to be the norm. Back then, my salary was what, 2? So half my salary was going to my car. So don't ever get in a situation where where half your salary is actually just going off to pay the car. Because then if anything happens and your car's in the shop and you can't use it, you're still paying for it. And that is the most painful thing you can ever experience, short of root canal surgery. Where was I? Okay, anyway, yeah. So don't live just don't survive on earth just to be able to pay for your car, okay? That is not a good situation to get into. That's why I've always said, your first car, buy something cash. Save up, buy something cash. That way you don't have a standard monthly payment every month. Where's my smart tag? You don't have a standard payment every month that you have to, worry about. And if you can't make the payments, they're gonna take away your car. They're gonna take back your car. And that's the last thing you want. So don't do that. Don't get in the situation where you're surviving or you're living just to pay off your car. That's a bad situation to be in. So anyway, yes, the Brickwagon is running so well. Temperature is stable. Engine's just purring. Abang Zaidi did a wonderful job on the overhaul. So thank you so much to him for that. Appreciate that very much. You see, I don't mind paying as long as the work is done well. The worst thing is that you pay a lot and then the work is bad. That's another very horrible feeling, because and then that's how friendships end, and that's how fights start and lawsuits come into place, and nobody's got time for that in this day and age. Yeah, nobody's got time for that. So try and stay away from situations like that. Let go of the angst, let go of the anger, but try not to get into that situation in the first place. Because yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that crap in your life. Really, you don't. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Brickwagon. So yes, I'm not too happy with the result of the previous paint job. The paint itself was okay. The lacquer wasn't. There are certain areas where the lacquer is peeling, and there are certain areas where the paint has actually delaminated off the body. And then the only reason for that was that the cement wasn't allowed to dry properly before they painted the car. So then the cement starts to dry underneath. It starts to contract, because when things dry, they contract just like you know, raisins. They are basically grapes that have contracted after being dried. So yes, that can happen with cars as well, especially car paint. And that's what's happened here. I'm pretty sure of that. And so yeah, I got to get that sorted. But I'm thinking of other options as well to see. I'm heading to go and check on the Alfetta, so maybe something will be done there. Anyway, I don't want to let too much out of the bag just yet. I just wanted to say hi to all of you. Remember, COVID-19 is still out there, and there are reports, well, there was a report yesterday, there was more than 3,000 new cases, which is really, ooh, nice. BMW. I'm not a BMW fanboy, I just appreciate older BMWs, yeah. So, if anything, I'm an Alfa Romeo guy, yeah, but I'm not really partial to any particular brand, I have to admit. I love them all. I love Toyotas, Datsuns, Volvos, Saabs, BMWs, Mercedes-Benzes, name it, you know. There are very few cars out there that I don't like. I even like the Lada Niva 4x4. If I could find one, I would. Suzuki Jimnys, they're just lovely old cars, and so, you know, I can't peg myself as being partial to one particular brand. I love Volvos as well. So yeah, anyway, stay tuned. I finally got my GoPro fixed. Guess what it was? It was not the battery. Namanegu told me that it's possible for a cable to be faulty. Yeah, the charging cable was faulty because I tested something else that used the same head to charge, and it wasn't charging. It was the cable. The cable was faulty, because when I use my other cable, which I keep in my pouch, along with my power bank, which I also keep in my pouch, to charge the GoPro, it charged up. It was fine. I'm going to use it in a little while. But since I was driving, I thought I'd just update you on what's going on. I'm very happy that all of you, well, most of you, are still following the second stupidest channel on YouTube. But your participation is very much appreciated. Thank you for participating in the poll. It's good to see that YouTube is right up there among the social media platforms that you normally visit. That's great to hear and great to know. Right, so we are here at Bobby Victory. As you can see, the Alfetta is already ready for wrap. Well, actually no, they haven't sanded it down yet, but there was a lot of cementing to be done. They have to make the car flat. In terms of the paint, they've got to make it flat and smooth, like I said earlier. If not, when they wrap it, the imperfections of the bodywork, whether it's the bodywork or the paint, are going to show through the wrap. So they've got to make it flat. And so yeah, I'm going to point out straight away that I've annexed the wing mirrors, because this car actually came without wing mirrors. Back then in the 70s, wing mirrors were actually a cost option. So originally, this car actually came without wing mirrors. As you can see, the bonnet's pretty okay. Just the 3 spots that I can see, but there was stuff to do on the roof. There was stuff to do on the side panels. Even this panel, I think every single panel had something to be done. And yeah, the boot was the worst. This part, if you remember, it was really, really bad. So this has got to be sanded down. Now all this can be done in-house. It all can be done here, right here at Bobby Victory. And so this is a long-term project. They've even taken off the vents. These are actually functioning vents. It allows the air from the inside of the cabin to actually come out. The plastic vents have been taken out. They'll be refurbished. That's not going to be wrapped. That's probably just going to be painted black, original. And yeah, my only stipulation was that the Faiz parked the car inside because those rims are worth quite a lot. Right, so stay tuned on that. And so yeah, while we're here, let me just show you the Brickwagon. So as you can see, there are certain areas that have started to delaminate, and this is all because of cement that was still wet when they painted it, and then like I said, it contracts and then pulls the paint out. So that's what happens. And there's also bits of lacquer that have come off. I think the lacquer that was used on this car maybe not so good. Most of the panels are okay. Most of the rest of the car is pretty okay. This is another space here where the paint has actually cracked. You can see that the paint has actually cracked, and that's allowed water to seep in and start rusting. So this is rust. These are rust stains actually. Pretty horrible stuff. It's like an open wound. So that's going to have to be taken care of. But by and large, the car is running so well that I can't bear to see these little imperfections. Another classic case of not so good lacquer being used on the bumper, so that's going to have to be redone. The only thing is, it's a big car, so they're going to have to use a lot of either paint or wrap to get it done. But bodywork wise, I think not too much. Then again, that's what I said about the Alfetta, and look at the Alfetta, there's so much to be done. So I'll discuss this with Faiz and see what we can come up with. I don't know, I just can't bring myself to maybe repaint the whole car again, because honestly it's just been repainted. It's only been like a year or less, and I can't bring myself to do it again. Plus Ah Kei has got a lot of work from me already, so maybe, yeah. And as you know, with a wrap I can actually choose a different color. So yeah, stay tuned. It'll be very interesting to see what Faiz can do with this car, to be honest. So yes, Bobby Victory here in Puchong. Come on over, have a look, discuss. Oh, Abang Police. Hi. Be nice to your policemen, okay? They're the only one. They're the first ones you'll call when you're in trouble. So be nice. So very interesting conversation with Faiz just now. Sorry I didn't record it because I needed to think, and it's actually answered the age-old question now: is it better to paint or wrap? So guess what, folks? It all depends on the bodywork that's required. Like for this Volvo, for example, there is a lot of bodywork to be done, because once we went through every single panel with a fine-tooth comb, or actually just know our eyes, we found that there are certain areas that are a bit wavy under the paint, which could mean that possibly rust is already forming underneath there. They're not bubbles like they were on the Alfetta that you saw just now, but more like slight waves where it is possible it's either the paint is too thick there, or the cement underneath has warped, or there's rust. Of course, the last option is the worst, because that would require more work. Now, cost-wise, because of the size of this car, like I said, wraps depend on the size of the car. It's a different price if you're wrapping a Kalisa. It's a different price if you're wrapping an S-Class, yeah? It's because of the material cost alone. Because this car is so big, with a roof as big as a badminton court, I'm serious, you could play ping pong up there. The cost of the wrap alone is about 2,500, and that's a lot of money. That's just the cost of the wrap, yeah? And not including the bodywork that's going to be required to smoothen out the body surface, and other peripheral stuff that's going to happen. I mean, when they remove the linings, you know, clips might break, you've got to buy new clips. That's all not included. So we're looking, possibly, for wrapping a Volvo 245 Brickwagon, we're looking at a ballpark price all in of about 4,000 to 5,000 ringgit. Yeah, so no joke. Yeah, that's quite a lot of money. Now, if I send this car to Ah Kei, because it doesn't need new floorboards to be welded or anything like that, if I send this car to Ah Kei, I'm pretty sure he can do the whole car all in with cement work and removing the dead cement and covering up the rust holes with new paint and proper good lacquer, like the lacquer that he used on my W126. I reckon he could do the whole thing for under 3 grand. Because again, it's a big car and it's going to take a lot of paint and a lot of lacquer. You got to remember that. I mean, the paint and lacquer alone is probably about 20 kilos worth that he's going to have to use. So, half price and to get the car repainted. Which is such a shame because, like I said, I just got this car painted. Such a shame. I should have just sent it to Ah Kei straight away. But it has to be done because there are parts of the paint that are cracked and water's going in and causing rust. So that's never going to get better. That's never going to get better. I'll tell you a secret. I actually covered some of the places with dark colored duct tape to stop water from going in. But that's just a temporary fix. So yeah, time to really think about it. And since the Alfetta is already getting wrapped, maybe I'm going to have to kacau Ah Kei again. But definitely after Chinese New Year. He can't take any cars right now. He's still currently doing the laser. So yeah, we'll go and see. I'll go and see what he has to say about this. He's probably going to throw things at me, but this car's worth getting things thrown at you for. So yeah, stay tuned.
Saved about 500 bucks.
You save about 1,000 plus.
To work out cheaper for me.
4,000.
215, even more.
It's worth for 200 plus. 400 bucks of savings.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but they see where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Working for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though.
Yes, folks, the familiar stairway to heaven, or is it the staircase to hell? I'm sure you know where I am. Those among you who have been following my exploits would know. Oh my goodness, my laser is looking so good. Wah, Ford laser saya cantik sangat weh. Wah. Mana saya punya kereta ah? So let's go see the bodywork of the laser. Oh, there she is. Hello, lovely. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I'm not frightened at all, but look at the amount of bodywork that has gone in. That's insane. But she's gonna look so good after she's done. I hope they can put this back properly because this is a real... These roof rubber liners, yeah, a bit of a bitch to put back in. But there she is. Hi bro. Semua okay? Belum siap lagi ya, bodywork. Banyak kan? Walao. Cun lah Sifu. Thank you ah. Saya ingat ini saya punya kereta tadi. So if you can see, they've already taped off the bits here to get the doors done. And yeah, I've already got a set of rims picked out at Ken's place. I'm going to keep that a secret for a while until we get that done. But I'm so excited to get this car. Don't forget, it's still a 1.6, yeah? It's actually got more grunt than my Satria 1.3, I think. It'll be interesting to find out. But yes. Yes. Very, very happy. Very excited about this car. I'm so happy driving the Satria 1.3. This is going to be even more exciting. Really. Because for all intents and purposes, it's got a better engine. Despite it being a carburetor, it's still got a more grunty engine. And of course, 5-speed manual, baby. Yeah. Happy. So yeah, folks, stay tuned. Lots more to come. This car is nowhere near being done yet. I'm not going to take out that AAM sticker because I'm very sure if I do, this part beneath it is just going to be so red compared to the rest. So just going to leave it. Stay tuned. So much more to come. There's central locking to be done, there's tinting to be done, there's interior cleaning to be done, there's new carpet mats to be done. So much more to be done. There's the roof liner to be done. So yeah, unlike the Satria, this car needs a lot of work. Alrighty then, take care. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. Bye. Yep, so the 10-point service inspection check is still going on at Kenzone, and I'm here getting the Sentra check because I just wanted to check her after the Genting run the other day. I did an impromptu Genting run at night. Of course, I couldn't record it because it was pitch black. Came back via Uruyam. The car performed really well. So one thing I did notice though, and it was nothing mechanical or electrical, it was actually comfort. Somehow the seats in this car are not that comfortable for me, which is kind of sad, but there is a solution. They look wide and very well proportioned, but I get a backache every time I drive this car. So there's something that we're going to be doing very, very soon. I'm also getting the Punto checked out, 10-point service check. Meng, semua okay? Okay ah? Engine oil okay ah? Alright, cantik. And you also check the tires. So the solution for the Sentra is coming soon. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be very exciting. The Punto is running really well. I left it for 2 weeks and everything's okay. Started up on one crank. Very, very good car. Same as the Sentra. So yeah, in terms of reliability, I'm trying to get this as reliable as that. Stay tuned, folks. Something very exciting is going to happen with the Sentra soon, and as well as the Punto. You're right. Talk to you all later. Bye.